So good day, so I'm very sorry for late, but I just had for it and then just got the bath and then that's that. Yeah, so we're gonna watch reaction to the video, watch my video, YouTuber. So it's a Rebooted MCU, which will be in last part of PS5, so yeah, which is part 8. So it's still doing portrait number 9, yeah. So we're gonna react to Cole Spider-Man Senior Sets. So I'm very excited for that, but I think it's really good for that, so yeah. So enough for that talk. So like reaction hopefully, not too time because the video like 54 minutes 13 seconds. But hopefully that damage is not here. So please.
100% medical grade olive oil from Otex is now available in a convenient spray.
After months of grueling conflict, 1.1 million Palestinians face catastrophic.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Rebooted MCU. Today we are here with Rebooted MCU.
So if you can hear something, that was my fan, so yeah.
Phase 5 Part 8. This is the final project of Phase 5 and it's a long one, so no real long intro. Let's go ahead and jump right in. We cut inside the home of an unknown couple. We see a man dressing himself in a police uniform. He's looking at himself in the mirror, making sure he's presentable. He walks downstairs into the kitchen where we see an unknown woman sitting at the family table, drinking a coffee. The man smiles at her. "Check out this outfit, honey. What do you think?" The woman chuckles softly. "It looks great on you, Jeff. Or should I call you Officer Jeff?" The man is revealed to be Jefferson Davis, played by Mo McRae, who kisses the woman. "Anything for you and the boy, Rio. I love you two so much. You two are my world." The woman is revealed to be Rio Morales, played by Maria Elena Loss, who looks up at Davis lovingly. "I know this whole unemployment thing has been rough on you, but you've picked yourself up, especially after the added pressure placed on you after your brother got arrested. I'm just so proud of you. You're the strongest and most driven man I know. I couldn't have done it without you and the boys' support. But hey, what time is it? We need to get going." Rio looks at her watch and screams, "It's 7:30. School starts at 8:15. I'll go get him up." He watches Davis runs upstairs and opens up a door. He shouts, "Miles, wake up, son. Open Visions won't wait for you to start teaching, and the police station won't wait for me either. I can't be late on my first day." We cut to see someone sleeping in a bed. As they sit up, we are greeted with Miles Morales, played by Dallas Dupree Young.
Let's go.
We cut inside an office as we hear people typing on computers. Phones are ringing and people are chatting in the background. The calendar at a desk reads December 10th, 2026. We cut inside a cubicle as we see a person doing some kind of mathematics homework, as the camera reveals the person to be Peter Parker, played by Tom Holland, who rushes to finish up the mathematics equation he is working on. Suddenly, a man walks behind him. "Parker, what in the blazes do you think you're doing?" Peter turns around to see J. Jonah Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons. Peter looks up immediately. "I'm sorry, sir. I was just finishing up some physics homework." "Sophomore year at Empire State really bogging you down, huh, son? Come with me to my office. Immediately." Peter sighs as he follows Jameson to his office. We cut inside the office as we see Jameson staring at a framed Daily Bugle newspaper. He chuckles. "Everyone told me the Daily Bugle would be shut down. Go out of business, and I would be destitute, all thanks to this whole move to online news. But look at all of this, Peter. I evolved with the times. The Daily Bugle News is now not only the #1 news source in all of New York, but most of the United States." "Yeah, it's very impressive, sir." "I think you're missing my point, Peter. What I'm saying is that life isn't fair. You spend your whole life building something up, and then at a moment's notice, you have to pivot. I know college is hard, son, and being a digital photographer isn't exactly what your long-term goal is, but Mayor Cage sent in one superb letter of recommendation for you, so I don't want you to squander this opportunity." "Yes, sir, and it won't happen again." "How about you just send me the photos you edited for the broadcast tonight, and I'll let you go home early and study. I know you only have a few days left in your semester." Peter nods, shakes Jameson's hand, and exits his office. We cut to a few minutes later as Peter walks outside the Daily Bugle building. A car pulls up, and as he gets in, the camera reveals the car is driven by Felicia Hardy, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who smiles at Peter and kisses him on the cheek. "How was your day, Pete?" "Well, it will keep paying my tuition at Empire State and my portion of the rent, so in that respect, it was great." "Oh, Peter, come on. Why don't you, go out and relieve some stress. Have some fun like you used to." "I told you already, Felicia. The world doesn't need Spider-Man anymore." "Peter, you know that's not true." "How so? It's not like I'm the only guy who could protect the streets from evil. I mean, let's see. You have that stretchy girl in New Jersey. Elektra is still in Hell's Kitchen. You got Johnny and his new girlfriend. And if things get really bad, Jessica and Luke can step back in and stop crime whenever they please." "Speaking of Johnny, I keep hearing your phone go off. He keeps calling, and so does Ned. When you gonna get back to them?" "There's no point in talking to them. I can't let people get close to me anymore." "Peter, come on now, Spider-Bite. I know things haven't been easy, but you can't keep pushing people away. You know I love you, but you can't just mope around all day. That's not what they would have wanted." "I'm tired, Felicia. Let's not talk about this. I'm going to have to get my suit back on and go steal something and get you out of this funk, aren't I?" "Nope, but you are going to need to dress up. It's Thursday, remember? Dinner with May tonight." "Oh, shoot, that is tonight. Hold on, Spider-Bite. We gotta hurry back to the apartment. I gotta change." Peter winces as we watch Felicia speed away as Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day plays in the background. Cut to a few hours later as we see Peter and Felicia sitting inside an apartment as we watch Aunt May, played by Marissa Tomei, making dinner as the Daily Bugle News plays in the background. J. Jonah Jameson is reading the nightly report. "Tonight, we have a special news report about monumental scientific breakthroughs with Dr. Jonathan Drew, helped with his lab assistant, Empire State student Eugene Thompson. More on this after the commercial break." Aunt May places meatloaf down on the table as Felicia smiles. "Wow, this looks absolutely delicious, May. Thank you so much." "Oh, I'm so glad. I always enjoy our weekly dinners. Peter, things still going good at school?" "Still got my 4.0, final start on Monday. Besides that, can't complain." "And the job, has it started going better?" "It's work, can't say much more besides that." "Well, it was incredibly kind of Luke to send you in a letter of recommendation." "Oh, speaking of Luke, he sent us an invitation to join him at the mayor's annual Christmas celebration on the 20th. I'm sure it'll be a blast." "Oh, that'll be so much fun. I can't wait to put on my best black dress, and even better, bet there are going to be a lot of rich dignitaries there. A ton of valuable jewelry and watches. Ooh, it's just so exciting." "Yeah, right. But Peter, I bet Foggy will be there. I'm sure he could be looking for an assistant over at Nelson Law." "I told you, May, I don't want to work for Foggy." "Okay, well, dear, how is Ned doing these days?" "Don't know. Haven't talked to him in a bit." "Did you guys have a falling out or something?" "Nope." May and Felicia eat awkwardly in silence as May clears her throat. "And what about Johnny?" "Nope, May. Haven't talked to him either." "Peter, when are we finally going to talk about this?" "We have to talk about Matt. Why can't we just enjoy dinner together? Why do we always need to talk about this?" Peter slams his fist down on the table and walks away. As May tears up, Felicia comforts her. "It's okay, May. It's a lot for him to handle. He gets like this at times." We cut to the next day as we get a peek inside City Hall. We see a ton of people running around with documents and putting up decorations. We cut into the mayor's office as we see New York Mayor Luke Cage, played by Mike Coulter, looking outside his office window as Jessica Jones, played by Kirsten Ritter, reads off a list of things for him to do. The decorations are currently being put up as we speak. "They look great." "I couldn't agree more, Power Man." "You know those days are behind me. For now, my only focus is being mayor." "You really just won't let me flirt with you for a bit, will you?" "After hours, Miss Jones. After hours. Now, back to the list. Anything else?" "Well, you do have a meeting with Police Commissioner Knight at 4 p.m., but besides that, you're all clear." "Perfect. Thank you, Jessica. That's all for now." Jessica smiles, and as she exits the office, Luke sits down, kicks back, and sighs in relief, as suddenly an aide bursts into his office. Is everything okay?" "So sorry for the intrusion, Mayor Cage, but I wanted to inform you that Executive Decree 1-1964-23 has gone into effect, as was instructed on the decree, sir." "I don't remember that decree exactly. What was it about again?" "Well, it wasn't issued by you, sir. It was issued by Fisk." "What? Then why is it going into effect now?" "The order specifically said that it would become effective on December 11th, 2026, sir." "Well, what does the decree say?"
The Hive is a business centred in subsidised workspace, supporting women in North Lanarkshire to start up and grow their business. Hi, I'm...
The aide hands Luke the note, and as he reads it over, he gulps and screams, "Sweet Christmas!" We cut to the Daily Bugle as we see Peter Parker sitting inside his cubicle as suddenly we hear people start to chatter inside the office. As we see Billy Walters, played by Adam Colborn, run up to Peter's cubicle and shout, "Yo, Pete, have you heard the news?" "No, I haven't, Billy, but I'm busy right now. I don't have time for it." "Dude, I don't care what you have going on. You have to see this." Peter rolls his eyes and gets up as we see a group crowded around a television screen as J. Jonah Jameson is reporting. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have some major breaking news. Executive Decree 1-1964-23 has gone into effect from the mayor's office. The decree is the last decree of Mayor Fisk. It states that, effective as of December 11, 2026, all individuals arrested and incarcerated as a result of the work of the mass vigilantes known as Spider-Man and Daredevil will hereby be released from prison, have all charges dropped, and all property seized returned to them promptly. It is so ordered, Mayor Wilson Fisk." Peter stands shocked, unable to move. We cut inside the raft as we see Police Commissioner Misty Knight, played by Simone Missick, who sighs as she opens up a cage. Inside we see the former mayor of New York, Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, sitting and smiling, as we see a brief flashback to the post-credit scene of King of the Neighborhood, showing Fisk handing a note to Wesley. Fisk chuckles. "I always knew December 11th would be a glorious day in New York City." Knight stands in the doorway of the cell. "Get up, Fisk. I can't believe you did something like this. You somehow bought your own freedom." "Commissioner Knight, I took responsibility with the power I was afforded by the people of New York, but this has little to do with my own freedom. It is more about sending a message." "And what message would that be?" "It's a message to that stupid masked boy. I told him, if you come for the king, you best not miss. And well, he might not have missed, but he didn't land the finishing blow. All that hard work he and that idiot devil did, the countless work cleaning up the streets of New York, the legacy of the man called Daredevil, erased." Fisk smiles as Knight glares. "You know, Mayor Cage is going to find every conceivable way to overturn your order." "I'd love to see him try, but I must be going. I know the boys in here have been waiting to get their hands on the webhead. I don't want to miss a minute of the action." "I'll be seeing you again real soon, Fisk. You hear me?" "I wouldn't count on it, Commissioner Knight." Fisk laughs hysterically as he walks away. Cut to various scenes around the general New York area as we see criminals taking back to the streets. The hard work of Spider-Man, Daredevil, and the Defenders seemingly erased with one executive action. Cut to New Jersey as we see Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, played by Iman Vellani, who watches as the chaos extends to the Garden State. She stands in shock. What the heck's going on? No matter. I gotta put a stop to this." Come back to the office of the Daily Bugle as we see Peter fall to his knees. He is in shock. Billy leans over to him. "Hey, Pete, you okay, man? What's wrong?" Peter has a flashback to him and Daredevil working together. Peter reaches into his pocket and takes out Matt's rosary, holding it in his hand. Peter stands and looks at Billy. "Billy, I need to go now. There is something important I need to do. Tell Jameson I'm sorry." "Wait, what are you talking about?" Before Peter can respond, Jameson appears back on the screen. "More breaking news here. Even with the executive order only going into effect hours ago, criminal activity has already spread to the streets of New York and the surrounding areas. There appears to be a riot at the Flushing Meadows Corona Park, with criminals calling for Spider-Man to show himself. As viewers might know, Spider-Man hasn't been seen for months, and if you ask me, New York has been better off without that menace. But my opinion aside, will Spider-Man show himself? Only time will tell." Peter glares and runs off as Billy calls for him to stop. We cut to Flushing Meadows Corona Park as we see the man known as Herman Schultz, aka the Shocker, played by Bokeem Woodbine, who stands in front of the Unisphere and chuckles. "I swear, if the spider doesn't show up, I'm just gonna start going on a rampage. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of waiting." Before Shocker can finish, he watches Spider-Man lands in front of him. Shocker cheers. "Ha ha, yes! You're here! Exactly as I predicted it! I had zero doubts that you would show up." "Look, Shocker, I'm going to tell you this right now. I no longer have the will to hold back anymore. I'm not pulling my punches. I'm not going to let you walk away from this. So either you can give up now, or you're going to have to deal with the side of me that you don't want to see. Oh, why is that, Spider Chump? Because your little friend in the ketchup and mustard looking suit died? Shut up. Oh, come now. The news made it through the raft, and he helped put me away too. I'm glad he's dead. I'm not going to say it again, Shocker. Shut up. Oh, come on now, Spider-Man. We all have dead people in our lives. Heck, my parents died when I was a kid. I guess the difference between you and me is that you had a chance to save yours. Shut up! He watches Spider-Man leaps at Shocker. As he does, he watches Kraven the Hunter, played by Jason Momoa, jumps out from a nearby bush and slashes Spider-Man in the stomach with a knife. Spider-Man winces in pain as Kraven laughs. You stupid insect. I've been waiting to do that forever since I got arrested in Wakanda. Killing you has been the only thing on my mind. Spider-Man falls to the ground as we see him bleeding. Suddenly, Spider-Man is unable to control his movements. What's going on? He says to himself as he walks towards the other side of the Unisphere, as we see Mr. Negative, played by Rudy Lin, holding a sword as he smiles. Perhaps you forgot that outside of my impressive strength and usefulness with a sword in my hand, I can also control minds, all thanks to delight. A power I honed while I was in the slammer after you and that idiot blew up the operation I was working on. Spider-Man tries to resist Mr. Negative, but he eventually is led directly in front of him, the mind control holding him still as Mr. Negative slices the gash left by Kraven, making it larger. Spider-Man screams in pain as suddenly he is picked up from behind by a metal arm, as we see Dr. Otto Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus, played by Mark Strong, who screams at Spider-Man. Well, if it isn't Spider-Man, the coward who stopped me from making New York a better place for all. Otto, I know you aren't a bad man. You had your mind wiped by Fisk. Please stop. I'm my own person, boy, and what I know is that you prevented my dream. Octavius throws Spider-Man and punches him across the park. He goes flying as suddenly a final person grabs him and laughs hysterically. Well, Spider-Kid, long time no see. The man is revealed to be Norman Osborn, aka Green Goblin, played by William Dafoe, who's flying on his glider. How the tides have turned, Brat. Last time I was looking for absolute power and you managed to stop me. But now I have my glider back and you're the one who seems to be powerless to stop me and my friends. Did you forget I spared your life last time we fought? Oh, I haven't forgotten. But I also remember telling that egotistical iron fool Tony Stark that the way to make people fear you was to kill their false idols. Well, it seems I finally have my opportunity. He watches Osborn punch his Spider-Man, knocking him out. As Peter falls from the glider, Green Goblin throws a pumpkin bomb. It explodes directly on top of Spider-Man as the screen fades to white. Cut to that night around 8 p.m. inside the laboratory of Dr. Jonathan Drew as we see Flash Thompson, played by Phil Dunster, working on some sort of equation, as Dr. Drew, played by Adam Scott, walks up and looks over his work. Good work, son. Now remember to turn off the RPD in just a minute. Want to make sure the spiders are exposed to a non-lethal dose of radiation. Why exactly are we exposing spiders to radiation again? Well, according to some files I got from Oscorp, apparently exposing spiders to radiation would make them more effective in fighting pests. But I have an alternate theory. Watch as Drew walks over to a container, and as he lifts a curtain, we see a black clump floating inside. Drew smiles. The radioactive spider might be the only thing capable of killing a symbiote. Boy, let me tell you, Flash, when old Jimmy Woo sold me this thing back in 2023, I had no idea how he got his hands on it, and why he was willing to trade it for just a few $1,000s, but we sure lucked out, boyo. Right, maybe he was being controlled by an alien or something. The only thing we've tested that causes a symbiote to show any kind of weakness is condensed sound waves. But I just know the spider, increased in all facets thanks to its exposure to radiation, will be what is needed to kill the symbiote. Flash shakes his head. No offense, Dr. Drew, but didn't you use radiation on a previous subject with the hope that it could beat a symbiote, and it went nowhere? We see Dr. Drew standing in front of a photo of himself, Dr. Vernon Van Dyne, and Adam Brashear as he chuckles. Well, that experiment never got to the testing phase. I decided to stop while I was ahead on that one, but this one, I know it'll work. If you say so. Flash turns to turn off the radiation as suddenly we hear a door slam shut as Flash looks to Dr. Drew. What was that? Flash, what is today's date? December 11th, sir. Bless Jessica. Flash, call 911 now. Don't ask questions, just do it. As Flash rushes to dial 911, he managed to hit call as suddenly we watch as Kingpin enters the laboratory. He smiles at Dr. Drew.
Jonathan, good to see you.
Flash drops his phone in shock as he looks at Fisk. Mayor Fisk? I thought you were in prison.
Why, Dr. Drew, you must be working this young man too hard. He doesn't even have time to check the news.
Why are you here, Wilson? I kept my end of the bargain.
You did, with help from Octavius, of course. But the agreement between myself and Cranston is of no concern to you right now. You forgot the other end of our bargain. You were supposed to take the fall for me.
To support your team for so long, it's not like a product you buy and throw away. Football teams are for life.
With Vinted's new electronics category, you can earn with no selling fees again.
It's not my fault you got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. I couldn't have gotten you out of that mess even if I wanted to.
I suppose you are right, but I must confess, it does anger me to see that while I have rotted away in a cell, deprived of my freedom, stripped of my power, and humiliated as my name was dragged through the mud, you enjoyed a career rejuvenation. Drew Laboratories appears to be booming. And well, despite your success, my pockets are so empty from the money you owe me. And in my mind, the debt you owed remains unpaid. So what did you come to do? Reassert your own dominance as the kingpin of crime? Oh, don't get me wrong. I am concerned that some new organization might take my place. There is a power vacuum after all. But I could care less right now. I'm focused on getting revenge on all those who wronged me.
Let me guess, you got thugs outside waiting for me.
No, I intend to do this one myself.
He watches Fisk leaps at Drew, choking him and throwing him around his laboratory. We cut outside as we see a police car drive up as an officer turns to Officer Jeff and says, "We got a call from a number inside Dr. Drew's lab. Nobody gave us a response, so maybe it was just a misdial." Well, either way, I'm ready to head home and see my family, so I'll just go in real quick and check it out. You stay here. Watch as Davis exits the car carrying his satchel as he enters the building. We see Fisk with bloody hands as Dr. Drew lays dead on the floor, as we see shattered containers and capsules around the lab. Fisk stands upright as Flash smashes a chair against the back of his head. Fisk turns around and growls,
"You gotta hit harder than that, boy."
Fisk punches Flash in the face. As he crashes to the ground, Fisk looks at him.
"I remember you from Oscorp. You are a promising young man, but you must learn manners. So how about I force you to sit for the rest of your miserable life?"
He watches Fisk brutally stomps on Flash's leg, breaking them both as Flash screams in agony. Officer Jeff hears Flash's screams. He runs upstairs to the lab and sees shattered glass and Flash lying on the ground, with his legs broken. He holds up a gun and screams,
"New York Police Department, stand down."
Fisk turns around and chuckles.
"I've had enough of you stupid cops and your idiotic rules to last me a lifetime. So how about I take yours?"
Fisk leaps at Jeff, who fires. We cut to a few minutes later as we see Fisk walk out of the back exit of the building. His coat is stained with blood as the limousine pull up and take him away. Inside we watch as a symbiote flies around the room. It sees Flash, who is struggling for air. Watch as a symbiote flies at Flash, attaching itself to him as we see Flash's body get dragged away. Watch as another police officer runs inside the building. "Jeff, it's been 20 minutes. What the heck?" We see both Jefferson Davis and Jonathan Drew lying dead on the ground. As the officer runs away to call for backup, he watches the spider that was dosed with radiation crawls inside the satchel of Officer Jeff. We cut to around 10:30 p.m. that night. We see Peter Parker lying on what appears to be a stretcher of some kind as a woman operates on him. Peter begins breathing heavily and shouts, "What the heck is going on? Who are you?" The woman picks up her face and is revealed to be Claire Temple, aka the Night Nurse, played by Amanda Stenberg, who turns to him. "Oh, fantastic, you're awake. Probably don't remember me, but I patched you up after your fight with Fisk all those years ago. I was friends with Matt." Peter lays back down. "What happened?" "Well, your tissue density once again prevented you from being killed, but you suffered severe lacerations and burns. But you got some help from your friends." "What do you mean?" Suddenly watches Felicia and Ned Leeds, played by Jacob Batalon, emerge from the shadows. Peter gasps. "Ned, what the heck are you doing here?" "I shouldn't be here, jerk. You just think that you can drop your friends out of nowhere without any explanation?" "Ned, it's okay." "Peter, you almost died." I get it, but what happened?" "Well, you got knocked unconscious by that group of villains, and Otto, and, well, Luke and Jessica stepped in and rescued you." They did? Yep, then they contacted me and Ned to come see you. I was worried you were, but now I'm just glad you survived. Peter, why did you drop me? I thought we were best friends. Ned, before Peter can answer, watch as the door opens as we see Mayor Cage and Jessica step inside the room. So they both have sustained injuries. Peter winces as he sits up. Luke? Jess? You both saved my life? Yes, Peter, but you are hardly saved yet. Rest some. We have a lot to talk about. Cut to around 1 a.m. in the early morning of December 12th as we see police lights flashing outside of Drew Laboratories. We see two bodies being taken away from the building as Miles and Rio stand outside. Both have tears in their eyes. Police officer walks up to the two holding the satchel of Officer Jeff. He sighs. I'm so sorry about your loss. We already ran some forensics on this stuff and nothing leads us to believe that there's any meaningful evidence of crime on here. So go ahead, take it. The officer hands a satchel to Miles, who looks down at it and begins sobbing. Rio stands over him and hugs him. As suddenly he watches the radioactive spider crawls out from the satchel onto Miles' arm and bites him. Miles winces in pain as he continues sobbing. We cut inside the building where we see Flash sitting in a janitor's closet. He grabs his head. Ah, man, what the heck happened? I thought I was done for.
Oh, I wouldn't let a strapping young lad like you die like that. Not when I needed a host and you needed to live.
Oh, jeez, I must have gotten hit so hard I can hear my conscience or something.
Nope, it's that little black symbiote you so rudely kept trapped inside that prison for years.
Flash stops and screams as a voice is revealed to be the symbiote, voiced by Darren DePaul, who chuckles.
Quiet, drama queen. Don't want those officers to see us.
I have so many questions, but first, are you going to eat me?
No, I wouldn't eat myself, now would I?
What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, you are me, and I am you. We're bonded now. I get your memories, and you get my abilities. It's a symbiotic relationship. Well, unless I want to take control.
You've got to be joking.
Nope. How do you think I know your name? Or the fact that those other life forms in the uniforms are police officers? All thanks to your knowledge. I wouldn't have any clue what would be going on if it wasn't for you.
So the reason I was able to get over here, even after Fisk broke my legs,
is all thanks to me. Yes.
So, where did you come from? How'd you get here?
Well, all thanks to the Skrulls. Years ago, some Skrulls were sent to Earth in order to scout out the planet for a large-scale invasion. On their way, they discovered a deserted and dead planet, a planet that was disposed of thanks to me. Unfortunately, I was able to find a suitable host out of them, so I was trapped instead and brought to Earth, as a countermeasure of sorts if the Skrulls' plan didn't work out. But when the Skrulls got here and disguised themselves as humans, they realized that money makes this world go round, so they traded me for some cash, and I've been locked up ever since.
So Wu was actually an alien?
Haha, if you think Skrulls are crazy, the galaxy is filled with even weirder stuff than that.
I have so many more questions.
We have time. Lay 'em on me.
Cut back to the abandoned warehouse where we see Peter lying down as Jessica and Luke explain the situation to him. Luke paces around. Fisk signed an executive decree under my nose, something that a new mayor can't overturn, something that is now quite literally impossible to overturn thanks to the timing of it all. It caught us all by surprise, Peter. I'm sorry this came out of left field, but we truly had no idea that this was going to happen. No, it's okay. But what happened to all those people that attacked me, and what do we do now? The villains that attacked you are still out there, and unfortunately, they know that you're not dead. Otto is not a villain. He's a good man. Felicia, I know Otto was there for you, but the Otto you once knew is dead. Fisk killed him. Wait a minute. Osborn is with him, and he saw me without my mask. He knows my identity.
What? He does?
Yeah, when I fought him at Stark Tower, my mask came off and he saw me. Listen, Peter, this may sound crazy, but I don't think he shared your identity with the others. What makes you so sure? Because if he did, they'd have already taken your loved ones by now. Trust me, I know these kind of people. They will exploit any weakness they can find. If he hasn't done so already, he hasn't shared your identity. Peter sighs. Okay. Well, Luke, what can we do to stop this? Unfortunately, Peter, those villains are going to not stop until you are defeated. Despite your injuries, my fear is that they are going to start wreaking havoc across New York to force your hand. But there is something else that's bothering me. Yeah? What is it? Well, there's a report that there's been an incident at Drew Laboratories, and Dr. Drew was killed. What? Yeah. and I have reason to believe that Fisk has something to do with this, and with the villains of your past coming after you once again. We've attempted to get a warrant to search the premises of Drew's labs for months, but so far a judge hasn't issued one to us. But if our hunch is correct, perhaps Drew had something on Fisk, something Fisk didn't want to get out. Now, I'm not going to say that you should break the law or do anything illegal to enter that building without a warrant, but if I do, it could likely help us figure out what Fisk is planning. Well, that's the theory. Alright, I'm going to get going right away. Oh no, you aren't. You still need lots of rest. Your wounds need to heal. Claire, with all due respect, this is an urgent situation. Pierre needs to be out there to figure this out as soon as possible. Yeah, I can find my own Iron Spider outfit. It should be able to give me additional protection and should prevent me from re-aggravating my wounds. I'm sorry, but at this moment, you are not going back out there. Claire, what's the earliest Peter can be ready to go again? Claire sighs. I guess tonight, at the earliest. Fine. Peter, rest up. You have a big night ahead of you. Luke and Jessica exit as Peter rests his head. Hey, Ned. Ned looks at Peter as Peter breathes heavily. I will tell you everything, just not now. Ned glares as Claire continues working on Peter. We cut to that night as we see Peter sitting on top of a building overlooking New York. He dons his Iron Spider suit. Wow, it's been a minute since I wore this thing. Not since Tony, well, enough thinking about that. Time to go to Drew's lab. Watch as Peter swings through New York as we cut inside Drew's lab as a symbiote continues talking to Flash. And that is how us symbiotes reproduce asexually. I could have really done without all that detail, but I appreciate the history lesson. We hear rustling as someone enters the building. Crap, someone else is here. Just stay cool and quiet. We can attack if necessary. Flash sits ready as suddenly we watch Spider-Man burst into the room and begin rummaging around the documents. Something has to be in here somewhere. It's Spider-Man! The superhero you idolize and secretly wish you could be? Oh, when you put it like that, it sounds super lame. Watch as Spider-Man continues digging around the laboratory as suddenly his spidey senses are alerted to an object flying towards his head. He dodges and he turns around to see Miles Morales standing in the doorway. What the heck? Spider-Man is here! Who the heck are you, kid? Why are you messing around at a crime scene? None of your business. And I have a bone to pick with you. Thanks to you, my uncle ended up in prison. Look, kid, I really don't have time for this. I'm on sort of a time crunch here. Well, I'm not backing down. I came here for a purpose, and you won't stop me. Spider-Man sighs and shoots webbing at Miles, who quickly dodges, sticking to the ceiling as Spider-Man looks in amazement. I saw that coming from a mile away. Wait. Hold up. That's my move. How did you... I don't really know. My body's been acting really weird lately, ever since I got bitten last night. Bitten? Yeah. My dad was killed here, and I got his satchel and something crawled out of it, and it bit me. But I came tonight to see if I could find out anything about the person who killed him. Spider-Man starts looking around the laboratory until he spots a broken RPD and the test results of exposing spiders to radiation. Oh no. Kid. You got bitten by a radioactive spider, just like I did. And why should I believe you? Spider-Man removes his mask, revealing himself to Miles, as Flash sits in shock. Puny Parker is Spider-Man? Ah, how ironic. The kid you bullied is the hero you desire to be. Kind of poetic, isn't it? My name is Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man. I was bitten by a radioactive spider back in 2014. The former mayor of New York is responsible for placing the city in danger. And some of my friends believe that he is responsible for the murders that occurred here. And I'm here to get to the bottom of it. I'm Miles Morales, and my father was killed here yesterday, and I used to look up to you before you took my uncle away from my family. But now I just can't believe what I'm hearing. I know, Miles, but trust me. While you might think these new powers are great, they're a curse that will burden you for the remainder of your days. I will do everything to help you out, but for now, I gotta keep looking. Hold on. You're one of the greatest heroes in the entire world. You've saved countless people, and there are millions who idolize you. I idolized you. How is that all a curse? Something that I can't explain right now, kid. Well, I'm going to help you out. As I said, my father died here last night, and I'm going to do whatever I can to avenge his death. Well, you remind me of a younger version of me, kid. I don't know if it's a compliment or not, but I'll take the help. Watch as Peter and Miles begin rummaging around the documents scattered around the laboratory as Flash sits in shock, as the symbiote views all of the flashbacks of Flash bullying Peter. So why are you in such a rush, Peter? Listen, first off, you can't call me that. Peter is a secret. Only select people know about my identity. I trust you won't share it with anyone. Second, there's some very bad people outside of here who want to see Spider-Man dead and New York City suffer, and I'm going to do everything I can to stop them before things get ugly. Got it. Well, what exactly are we looking for in these documents? Anything that could somehow link Drew and Fisk and the criminals running amok in New York. Wait, here's something. Miles walks over, seeing Peter look at a document about Drew's original experiments related to the organism capable of killing a symbiote. So apparently, there's something being held in Storage Unit 32 down at the docks. That must be where Drew has been hiding information. We need to go and find it as soon as possible, Miles. If it brings the people who killed my dad to justice, then it's fine by me. But, one problem. Yeah, what's that? How do you, shoot webs? I can't do that. Wait, you think I shoot my webbing naturally? No, it's a complex formula me and my friend came up with years ago. And it's surprisingly durable stuff, long-lasting as well. But that's neither here nor there. Just hop on my back, I guess. We need to move. Miles nods and hops on Peter's back as the two swing away. Flash exits the closet. Parker is Spider-Man. This whole time, I've bullied him, and he's been the very person I look up to. Well, the only logical thing to do is to kill him and eat him. Wait, what? You always wanted to be like Spider-Man, and you have always hated Peter, so why not take care of both of them and take their place? Use my abilities to take his spot, achieve your desires. You know why I bullied Parker. Not because I hated him, it's because I was jealous of him. And because of your father, boy, I get it, but it doesn't matter. Take control, Flash. Kill, consume, conquer. I'm not going to let you kill Parker. I won't allow it. Our first disagreement. How sad. It looks I'm going to have to take control. No, wait. Watch as the symbiote begins to take the shape of a large, hulking demonic figure as he laughs. I told you, Flash. We might be one and the same. We might be Flash, but we are also Venom. And now, we will find those individuals who want to kill the Spider-Man and help them help us. Cut inside the abandoned Oscorp building as we see Octavius hooking up some wires to Shocker's suit. This should increase your charge and power output, Herman. I hope it works nicely for you. You're the man, Octavius. Appreciate ya. We got to see a table where Green Goblin, Kraven, and Mr. Negative are sitting. Kraven laughs. You know, I don't know why they kept this building up and scrapped your old building, Norman. As much as I hate to admit it, this building is a lot nicer than my old building. Perhaps if the stories we heard were true, then this serves as a monument of remembrance for the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. He was killed just below us, after all. Or they probably didn't want to pay for it to be demolished. Also, let me just say how great it is that we all became buds over our shared hatred for Spider-Man. Yeah, you guys are pretty cool. Well, I do agree with that sentiment, Kraven. But there is a mighty big elephant in the room that you have yet to kill. That's right. Norman. You told us all that you knew the identity of Spider-Man, but you've still kept it from us. Why? Where's the fun in just learning his identity and tracking him down because of it? Listen, you psychotic elf-looking freak. I rotted in that jail cell, reliving the embarrassment caused by that spider freak for years, and you're telling me you're not going to tell us his identity? Oh, the goblin side of me would love nothing more than to tear him apart. But the Norman side of me is preventing me from disclosing that. He spared my life when he didn't need to. Cut the crap, old man. Sentiments don't mean anything when I have a clear mission. Kill the spider and be done with it. I'm sticking with my gut on this one, fellas. Sorry. Well, then maybe I'll need to cut the information out of you. No need, gentlemen. Watch as a group turns to see Venom enter the building as a group readies their weapons. What the heck are you? How did you find us? Oh, please. I watch the news like the rest of the population, and you can call me Venom. You can also call me a partner, because I want the same thing you all want. Peter Parker, dead in a ditch. How? How do you know that name? Insider knowledge. Don't question it, just accept it. Is that his name, Norman? Norman sits in silence as Kraven brandishes his knife and holds it up to Norman's throat.
He asked you a question. Yes, that's his name. The group laughs as Venom snarls. Well, gentlemen, we have some planning to do. We cut to the docks of New York as we see Peter and Miles standing in front of Storage Unit 32. Peter looks to Miles. Well, here goes nothing. Peter and Miles use their strength to tear off the door to the container as a voice comes from inside. Dad? Is that you? Peter and Miles stand in shock as a girl jumps down from a hammock, landing next to a television playing the nightly news. She glares. You aren't my father. What did you do to him? Whoa, lady, we have no idea what's going on here. Then leave me alone. Watch as the lady shoots a liquid from her hand. Miles dodges as we see it begins burning the ground where Miles once stood. Peter winces. Okay, Miles, here's some on-the-job training. Let's go. Watch as Spider-Man and Miles begin fighting against the woman, who is extremely agile, shockingly powerful, and is able to stick to walls. As the fighting continues, Spider-Man screams, Come on, lady, I'm here trying to figure out what Dr. Drew has to do with everything going on right now. What business do you have with my father? Drew is your father? The three stop fighting as a woman is revealed to be Jessica Drew, played by Daisy Ridley, who explains that she was experimented on by her father as a child. The experiment of creating a life form capable of killing a symbiote, but the experiment left her in a state of stasis, and as a result of this, Drew kept her locked away from humanity. Ashamed of what he caused his daughter to suffer, he continued to visit her every night to check on her, feed her, and teach her. Jessica, I'm so sorry to intrude like this, but your father, he was killed. And we are trying to track down the man responsible. What? My father can't be dead. You're lying. No, he isn't. My dad was also killed. It's why I'm here. Miles tears up as Jessica looks down, as Peter looks at Jessica. Wait, do you have any idea who a man by the name of Wilson Fisk is? I've never heard of him. I've been locked inside this room for as long as I can remember. Peter stops and looks down. I'm such an idiot. This whole thing had nothing to do with why those idiots attacked me. The two things are completely separate incidents. That must mean Fisk must have released those prisoners to get back at me. And Matt. Peter falls to his knees as suddenly a breaking news report rolls across the screen. J. Jonah Jameson here with a major breaking update. 6 sinister monsters have taken a hostage of the abandoned Oscorp building. We take you there now. Peter looks up as we see Dr. Octopus holding Aunt May, dangling her over the streets of New York. They are calling for Spider-Man to show up, or they will kill this innocent hostage, and it's hard to imagine that their evil deeds will stop there. The fate of this citizen, and potentially New York as a whole, is in the hands of the menace now. Peter stands up. See, Miles? This is why being Spider-Man is a curse. That woman is my aunt. These powers have given me nothing but pain, and loss, and failure. I've lost all my friends, people I've loved, and it's made me impossible to let anybody else in. Being Spider-Man is all about loss, and giving up on everything you cherish. Nothing else. Regardless of what you like, or who you love, being Spider-Man means that you will always end up alone. Peter breaks down crying as Miles pats him on the back. You know, Peter, my uncle was arrested. He's the only person who is bringing in money for my family. It's really difficult on my mom and dad. But despite the difficulty, my father told me something. He said, nobody's permanent, and eventually everyone will go, either through death or through the challenges and changes in life. The challenges are also temporary, because despite whatever life throws at you, those people who leave you will always be behind you. Maybe not physically, but because of the lessons they taught you along the way. Peter looks up as he has flashbacks to Iron Man, Daredevil, and Uncle Ben as he hugs Miles. Thank you. Peter steps back and looks at Miles and Jessica. Look, I know you guys have no reason to help me out, but I do need help on this. My aunt's life is in danger, and if they kill her, the carnage will only continue from there. I need you both. Please, help me. Miles steps up. Peter, I've looked up to you for keeping people safe. And even though you arrested my uncle, I'm sure there was a reason why you did so. I don't know how much I can do to help, but I will. Peter nods as he turns to Jessica. I don't think I've seen the big city before, at least not outside of news broadcasts, and, well, my father is truly dead. I feel like the best way to honor him would be to use the powers he gave me to protect others. Peter nods as Miles screams, The Spiders 3! What?
Our team name, the Spiders 3. We all have spider-like powers. We have Spider-Man, and I'm like the kid Spider-Man, and you're Spider-Girl. Excuse me, I'm a young adult. Fine, Spider-Woman. This is cool. We're like the Avengers or the Defenders. Sure, Miles, if that'll keep you happy, then yeah, we are. Heck yeah. But, Peter, one problem. What's that? Me and Jessica don't have costumes. How are we going to hide our identities? Oh, and I don't know how to use any of my powers. You can swing by my place first. I should have some old stuff you can use. And Jessica, my girlfriend, should have some clothing for you as well. Anything besides black. I hate it.
Relax in a hand-picked 5-star hotel. On your next...
Right. And as for the experience with your abilities, well, my uncle used to tell me you know what? I'll let you figure that out on your own. No time to waste, guys. Let's roll. Jessica turns to Miles, who shrugs as Peter looks back at the news report. Cut to the Oscorp building as we see Green Goblin circling the top of the building with his glider, as Mr. Negative yells to him, "Any sign of him yet, Norman?"
Nope, not a sign of him yet. Well, that little punk better hurry up. I can't sharpen my knives anymore. They're going to lose their power. Yeah, I just want to get my fingers on him.
Are we sure this woman is actually related to Spider-Man? What the heck are you talking about? Do I look like a spider to you?
Trust me, it is.
Boys, I see something! We watch as Spider-Man, Miles, wearing an all-black suit, and Spider-Woman gliding in the sky head towards the building. Peter speaks into an earpiece. Felicia, what can you see? We cut to Black Cat standing on the top of the mayor's office as she says, "I can see May. She's being held in the center room. I recognize 5 of the people, but there is this one giant black monster-looking thing. No clue what that is. Whatever it is, we'll take care of it." "Right. And you better tell that chick she better not ruin my only red jumpsuit." "We'll take care of it." Peter turns to Miles. "Good job keeping your wrist straight, Miles. How does it feel to swing using the webbing?" "I'm absolutely freaking out, Spider-Man. But I will do what I must to help the Spiders 3 achieve victory." "Yeah, that name isn't going to stick. Regardless, there are 6 criminals in that building. We need to split up and be strategic. I know 5 of them, but my intel told me that there's a 6th, and it appears to be some sort of giant black blob of sorts." "A black blob? Maybe it's like a xenomorph." "No, it's a symbiote. I know it. All I'm going to say is you two better get out of the way. This is my fight." "Oh, but I want to fight the xenomorph." "As much as I appreciate the reference, Miles, Jessica has this one. But you and I get to fight a goblin, a metallic octopus, a world-class hunter, a man who can control people's minds, and an electrically charged dude. Crazy. Anyways, let's go, guys. Miles, follow my lead. The Spiders 3, roll out!" We watch as Spider-Man and Miles leap up into the room as they are surrounded by the criminals as Green Goblin flies into the room as well. "Miles, remember, I got your back. I'm here for you. You ready?" "Born ready." Venom licks his lips.
Finally, it's feeding time.
"No, you focus on me now." Venom turns around to see Spider-Woman glaring at him.
My father created me to defeat creatures like you, symbiote. Don't waste your breath. My focus is on Spider-Man and Spider-Man alone.
Spider-Woman screams and punches Venom in the face as Spider-Man screams, "I'm not gonna let you hurt May!" As we see Spider-Man and Miles team up to fight Green Goblin, Mr. Negative, Dr. Octopus, Shocker, and Kraven, while Spider-Woman fights Venom. Spider-Man is able to mentor Miles on the fly, allowing the two to fight effectively. They are easily able to defeat Shocker and Kraven, with Mr. Negative being overwhelmed with the 2 heroes, unable to focus enough to effectively use his mind control abilities. Spider-Man and Miles are able to wrap Doc Ock's tentacles around his body, trapping him in place. Spider-Woman holds her own against Venom, with her acid slowing him down, but the power of the symbiote along with her relative inexperience fighting allows Venom to get the upper hand. Watch as Venom knocks out Spider-Woman and turns attention towards Spider-Man and Miles, fighting in front of Aunt May. Goblin cackles. "You really think you can stop me, brats?" "You don't have to do this, Norman. You can stop."
We are who we choose to be, Spider-Man. And I choose to be the Green Goblin.
We watch as Goblin lands a punch directly on Miles, knocking him out as Spider-Man turns to check on him. We watch as Venom lashes Spider-Man's back, the force of the impact breaking through the nanobots on the Iron Spider armor as Spider-Man falls to his knees. Venom turns to him.
"I'm hungry, Spider-Man. I'm ready to feast."
As Spider-Man attempts to hold off Venom, we watch as Green Goblin picks up one of Kraven's knives and walks over to Aunt May.
I told myself that before the night is over, I would have taken someone's life, and I'm sticking by that. Goblin holds up a knife to May's throat. Peter screams in agony as suddenly Venom shouts, "Stop!" Venom leaps over towards Goblin, knocking the knife out from his hand as we see Flash's face appear. I don't want this. This is never what I wanted. Flash? Peter, listen. I never wanted this. I never wanted to hurt you or anyone. This symbiote thing attached himself to me and I've been fighting to control him. But I'm not going to let him kill you or your aunt. Oh, if it isn't Flash from my internship all those years ago. Fantastic. Two little brats are going to be taught a lesson. Watch as Flash struggle to control Venom as Peter watches on in amazement, shocked that his former bully is now protecting his family from being killed. Peter struggles to stand, but as he does, he joins Flash in fighting against Goblin. The combined efforts of Peter and Flash are too much for Goblin as Peter is able to land a massive punch on Goblin, knocking him out. As he looks to Flash, Flash begins to cry. I'm so sorry, Peter. Sorry for everything I've done. Peter's mask comes off as he smiles with a tear in his eye. It's okay, Flash. I understand. I'm gonna let you go. But you need to figure this whole thing out, okay? Flash smiles, and as he runs away, turning back into Venom, a small piece of symbiote falls to the ground. Peter picks it up and stores it in a compartment inside his suit. I'm gonna hold on to this for later. As he turns around, he sees Aunt May glaring at him. He chuckles nervously. Hey, May. Peter Benjamin Parker, when in the name of Thor were you going to tell me that you were Spider-Man? Are you hurt? Where did you get your powers? Who knows? Does Felicia know? I have so many questions. And I'll answer them, but for now, we need to get out of here. We watch as Peter swings out of the building carrying Aunt May, Miles, and Jessica. As police officers storm the building, we see Mayor Cage and Commissioner Knight watching on as the officers go to work. So I'm guessing these guys are going back to the raft? Nope. I actually got a call from Chief of Staff Carter. Ross commissioned a new prison named the Cube to be open. They will be sent there. Well, less people for me to worry about. What about Fisk? We have definitive proof he killed Drew. What are we going to do about him? Luke smiles. Oh, don't worry. I got someone on that. We cut inside an abandoned building.
I love you. I'm good for you. I love you.
See Wilson Fisk sitting in silence as suddenly we hear a door creak open as Fisk chuckles. Who is here to see me? Is it the police? If so, I can assure you that you won't like the outcome of our encounter. No, someone even worse. We watch as a figure emerges from the shadows as Fisk stands in shock. You? But how? The figure's revealed to be Elektra, played by Elodie Young, who's taken up the mantle of Daredevil. She chuckles.
Something special about the championship.
It's a bit of a roller coaster as a fan. You can't take your eye off it. It's that kind of league.
Wilson, even when I'm dead, not even Hades himself can stop me from knocking you down a few pegs. This screams as Daredevil leaps at him. We cut to December 19th as we see Peter, Miles, and Jessica standing on a roof, looking into a capsule holding the symbiote that was left behind. Jessica grunts. Can I just kill it, please? I typically would let you, but I want to study this thing, see how it works. Peter puts it away as Miles frowns. Well, it sucks that this is all over now. It was cool being Spider-Man. Are you kidding me? This city needs more people like you. It needs more people to protect it, especially since there are more villains now than ever before out on the streets. Well, I have nothing better to do, so what the heck. Plus, I'm kind of digging this red jumpsuit. Yeah, we're going to have to find you something else to wear. Well, who's going to train us, Peter? You know, two of my very best friends were superheroes. They trained me, and now I think it's time for me to return the favor. So bright and early next week, we get the training. You got it? Miles and Jessica smile as Peter chuckles, but for now, it's date time. Miles and Jessica head out as Peter swings back into his apartment. Inside, we see Felicia standing at the entrance of their apartment door, smiling. Peter looks nervous. What are you so happy about? Oh, just reminding you how good it is to have friends in your life. Felicia opens up the door to reveal Johnny Storm, aka Human Torch, played by Andrew Garfield. Crystal, played by Millie Bobby Brown, and Ned Leeds. Ned and Johnny run in to hug Peter, who the camera catches, smiling.
cut to Flash Thompson sitting on his bed as he is talking to the symbiote. Listen, that stunt you pulled back there was not cool.
Fine, I'm sorry, or whatever.
Look, if you're going to be one and the same, we aren't going to do whatever we want. We are going to do stuff that matters.
Well, what exactly do you have in mind?
Well, Spider-Man has always been considered an agent of good. So let's do that. Become an agent for the good of humanity.
As long as I get to fill myself up with grub, count me in.
We see a television playing the Daily Bugle News showing Spider-Man fighting against the Sinister Six as a man's size. See, Cassie, this city is just too dangerous to raise a daughter in. The camera pans as we see Scott Lang, aka Ant-Man, played by Stephen Yeun, and Cassie Lang, played by Una O'Brien, sitting on a couch watching the news. But Dad, I love New York. It's awesome. Yeah, but between that Mr. Fear guy and that Apocalypse dude and now this, we need to get out of here. Wasn't that Apocalypse dude in Egypt? Doesn't matter. Because where we're going to move, it's a place where nothing bad ever happens. Good old California. We cut inside the Other Place Diner as we see Gina Landers, played by Yvette Nicole Brown, walk up to an unknown man. Welcome to the Other Place Diner. My name is Gina and I'll be your server today. What can I get you started with today? The camera pans reveals the man sitting in the booth to be Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, played by John Bernthal, who smiles.
All the coffee you got. Black. Nothing added.
Is that an M16A1?
Why, yes it is. You know your gun's there, Missy. Is there an issue with it being in here?
It's probably against some state law, but you should see the other clientele we serve here. Frank laughs as Gina walks away. And that is Spider-Man Sinister 6.
That's it, finish the PS5 JTVideo with the MCU, so yes, I can't be gonna be PS6, so yes, so I'm going to tell you, I can reaction on PS6 will be on April, so that's gonna be good, so I'm very sorry about false but so I'll see you next video. But anyway, so I'm going to shop tomorrow. I'm going to show you what I got. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.